Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and in this video I'm gonna be telling you a little story about how this video came about and why I've been so depressed killing bosses on RuneScape 3 lately, but I also want to browse through some of the best bosses to kill if your luck is terrible when bossing. Speaking of browsing, thank you so much to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Opera GX is the world's first browser for gaming. They have amazing features like the GX profiles, which help with different things, like if you're a streamer, you can enter streamer mode on your profile to no longer accidentally show your private information and stuff to your viewers. Does your computer suck and you need to make sure your games run smoothly? Look no further than the potato configuration for your GX profile. They also have integrated social media channels like Discord, so you can just check Discord whenever you want, and also things like Twitch where you can watch your favorite streamer whenever you'd like. You can also completely customize Opera exactly to your liking with special themes and really awesome wallpapers to make Opera perfect for you. And lucky for you, Opera has an amazing quick import tool so you can easily import all of your settings from your previous browser and switch to Opera at the click of a button. Opera is also available on mobile and can be connected to your desktop too. Join the millions of gamers using Opera and be sure to download now using my special link in the description. Thank you again, Opera, for sponsoring this video. So I have been getting slightly depressed recently doing the Arch-Glacier. If you don't know my story with the Glacier, I've been trying to get a core to finish my Arch-Glacier log since, well, September 2021. Essentially the release of Arch-Glacier, I got a core, and then for the last year and a half, I've done over 1,600 kills since then, which if you look at the kills per hour that I usually get at the Glacier, it's easily over 100 hours of trying to get a drop that's like 1 bill. So like at this point, even if I get the drop right now, I'd be making only like 10 mil per hour from that drop just from the core. So the Glacier is like truly depressing boss at this point for me. It is one of my favorite bosses, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite bosses ever made mechanically, and I love killing it and I love streaking it. I love the enrage and streaking mechanic, but the boss is essentially core or bust. The common drops are actually pretty bad nowadays. For example, I made only 12 mil in 1 hour from streaking from 800% to 920%, which probably doesn't even cancel out the supplies I use since I used a grimoire. And if I get Dark Nylas or the Artifact of Lang or a Scripture of Wen, it's really not going to be good GP per hour at all. The one item you're going for is the core, and that's kind of why I've been just, reluctantly killing the Glacier and just kind of having a terrible time. This got me thinking though, if you guys are having some terrible luck at bosses, while the Glacier might be a super RNG dependent boss, what bosses are great to kill even if your RNG kind of sucks or if you're unlucky? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to look at some bosses that are great to kill even if your luck is terrible. If you like videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're getting super close to 34K, so let's see if we can hit that. Like the video as it really gets it out to more people, and let's get into this. So the first boss I want to talk about is one that I've been doing a lot of recently and really enjoying, which is the newest boss in RuneScape, Zamorak. Now at first when I did Zamorak, I kind of felt like, it's actually not that great because the uniques, while you can get them, a lot of them have gone down in price now. So essentially you really want that bowstring drop for the Bow of the Last Guardians, the bow pieces. But actually Zamorak is amazing money now in terms of just getting common drops. So if you go to Zamorak, there's a few reasons why it's so good even if your luck sucks. This might be the best boss if you have bad luck. Number one, the commons. Every kill, if you're at like 100% in rage, you're gonna get like 3 to 4 mil, maybe even more in commons. Then if you get up to like 300% like I was doing, you're gonna get 7 mil a kill just from the commons. And even at the lower in rages, you're still gonna get some decent common drops. So I mean, like essentially when I was doing 300% Zami, it was taking me like 5 to 6 minutes a kill, and I made as much in 2 kills at Zami as I was streaking the Glacier for a whole hour, which is just insane seeing as I didn't get any uniques or anything like that. Now, the other thing about Zammy that makes it amazing if your RNG is bad is Zammy's bad luck mitigation. So essentially, if you're killing Zammy over 100% in rage, you're gonna stack up some bad luck mitigation. Essentially what this does is after you go 10 kills without a rare drop, you'll start to get bad luck mitigation. And what this does is every time you kill Zamrock over, I believe, 100% in rage, then you're gonna start racking up these points. So essentially, let's say you go 30 kills dry at Zamrock and you're killing it at, I don't know, 300%. At 300%, your drop rate of a unique is 1 in 67. If you're 30 kills dry, that means you went 10 without getting a drop and then another 20 with bad luck mitigation, which would bring your drop rate from a 1 in 67 chance to a 1 in 47 chance. So the longer you go dry at Zamrock, the more likely you're able to get a drop eventually later. And if you couple this with the new Raptors event, I've been using this with my bad luck mitigation. You know, when I go a bit dry at Zamrock, I've then been going and getting the Raptors buff and using it there at the highest enraged kill I can, and I'll leave it for the next episode, but we've actually gotten some decent loot, so Zamrock would definitely be up there in the bosses you should kill if your luck is just not that good. So another boss that's very, very good, even if you have that bad luck, is Zuck. Now, not so much normal mode, although normal mode Zuck, the drop rate is 1 in 50 for each, or 1 in 100 for each of the normal mode items. So every 50 or so kills, you should get a drop. And the normal loot from Zuck is actually really good because you're killing waves and waves of enemies, and that normal common loot is going to stack up a ton in your chest from Zuck. But the hard mode is really where it shines. The loot is essentially very, very common. It's 1 in 30 for each of the weapon pieces at Zuck. I know Zuck does take a while to do, and not everyone can do hard mode Zuck. I still need to get on getting that flawless run at hard mode Zuck. But in terms of the drop rates, it's very common to get some really big unique drops. And now with the Raptors buff, Zuck is arguably the best place to use it because the drop rates are so low. And if you use a Raptors buff, you're essentially getting a very, very, very big chance at getting one of those rare items. So I had to mention Zuck here, especially coupled with the Raptors event. It's very, very good, very, very low drop rates and very easy to get a unique there. Now, one of the bosses that I've been doing a ton of recently that has made me a ton of money, even though I have gone unlucky there. So if we look at Solok, I have been doing a lot of Solok, and again, it is a group boss. You can actually solo it now too, so you don't have to have a team, but it is one of the tougher bosses. If we look at my Solok log, you can see I've done like 130 kills and I have not gotten a single unique drop. So essentially Solok's drop rate isn't too high, so I should have gotten 1 or even 2 uniques by now, but I have still made a ton of money, and that's because every Solok kill drops a Grimoire page guaranteed. And as of now, Grimoire pages have actually gone up quite a bit even more. They were costing 8 million GP each to buy, so that means essentially every Solok kill you're guaranteed about 8 mil, probably even more because of the other loot that comes with it. So you're going to be getting even more than doing like 300 or 500% Zamrock kills every kill from Solok. The uniques aren't really even the driving force behind the GP per hour at Solok now. It's all in the consistency from the Grimoire pages. So if you're looking for that consistent money, boy, Solok is super strong right now to do. Now, another boss that is great and is very good if you can't do the higher level bosses are actually Dagannoth Kings. Now, Dagannoth Kings most notably drop like the Berserker Ring, Warrior Ring, Seer's Ring, and Archer's Ring. And the reason they're so good is because these rings have gone up a ton in price, essentially since all the new rings came out, all the new Matriarch's rings like the Reaver's Ring. Archer's Ring currently is going for 20 million GP, which is absolutely insane. So if you do Dagannoth Kings and you're a high level and you can do like over 200 per hour, you're looking at almost 25 mil GP per hour, and almost all of this is coming from the rings. And now the rings are actually pretty common at Dagannoth Kings and Dragon Hatchets as well, but the rings is mostly where the money's going to come from. For example, the Archer's ring is 1 in 128. So these rings are, you know, pretty common seeing as there's 4 of them. So if you go every hour, you're pretty likely to get 1 or 2 rings, and anything but the Warrior's ring is going to be great money. So you have a 75% chance of getting a good ring. If you do get a ring drop, Berserker ring is almost like 8 mil. You have the Seer's ring, which is like 13, 14 mil, and then the Archer's ring, which is now 20 mil. So if you're a lower level or a mid-level and you're looking to make some decent money, but your luck isn't always that great, like at God Wars 2 or something, Dagannoth Kings are sneakily a very, very good place to go. Next, I have to talk about the Elite Dungeons, the first 2 Elite Dungeons. You might usually think of ED1 when you think of places that you can go and make money with having bad luck, but it's not only ED1. Of course, ED1 is very good because you kill Siryu and you get Ancient Scales, and Ancient Scales have actually gone up a ton in price recently. I talked about it in a previous video, how they're just up to like 1.2 mil or even more now. And on average, when you're soloing Siryu, you're going to get around 14.4 scales on average. This includes the big drops and the doubling chance, but you're always going to get some scales. Even if you're unlucky, you're going to get 4 to 8 ancient scales. So at the absolute minimum, if you're extremely unlucky and you get the minimum amount of scales every single kill, so the absolute worst, this will never happen, but just to play devil's advocate, if it does, and you can get 3 to 4 runs an hour, you're still going to make 15 to 20 mil per hour this way, but more than likely you're going to get the average of, you know, 10 to 14 scales every kill, which is going to be around 50 to 65 mil per hour just off the ancient scales. Siryu doesn't drop anything else. The common ancient scales are essentially what you're going to get every kill, which makes this one of, if not the most consistent boss in the game, up there with Solok. So of course ED1 had to be mentioned here, but sneakily ED2 has also gotten very consistent as well too. So if you're soloing ED2 and you get, you know, let's say 3 to 4 kills per hour and you get Draconic Energy. Now of course we know ED2 has the Greater Flurry, Fury, and Barge codex, but let's say you're unlucky and you never get those at all, you're still going to be making around 30 to 40 mil per hour in just the normal drops and the Draconic Energy, because Draconic Energy has gone up as well. It's now over 700k each, and of course you get that every single kill, and you're gonna get on average pretty much the same as Siryu. So while not as good as Siryu in the, you know, normal common drops, you're still gonna make a good, you know, 30 to 40 mil per hour off just this Draconic Energy if you can do 3 to 4 runs per hour. So ED1 and ED2 are both some very, very consistent money. So yeah, if your RNG sucks or you're just tired of being unlucky and you just want to make that money without having to rely on that big drop, cough cough Arch Glacier, then these bosses are some of the best you can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you for Opera for sponsoring this and allowing me to continue doing this full time. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.